St. Lucia, this is Open Mic, and we're now back to the fourth and final segment. On my last program, I asked my right hand, Mr. Junior, to please touch base with his superiors to give me 90 minutes. I hope by next week he'll be able to facilitate me, because the time really goes too quickly. So, Cuthbert, we're going to touch now on the agricultural side. I'm posing two questions to you, which I have posed several times to my other guests. One, the banana industry. Two, the Mexican greenhouse. And three, the abattoir. One of the areas that concern me most about the agriculture industry is that the poor farmers are producing bananas and no one has seen it fit to give them their just reward by getting their rightful quota recaptured from the South American market. Please highlight, my brother.
Michael, as far as I can see on the banana, speaking of the banana business,
yes,
and looking at bananas, there is still a market for bananas. But we must be able to grow and market up to world-class standards, which maybe Winfresh is asking us to do. We have to do it.
Where are we now with our standard? Where are we? If you have to rate us.
Because one of the things that's happening now is that you hear a lot of farmers with this to and fro. But the farmers themselves, I must admit, some of them are their worst enemy. Not because you have been doing things for the last 40, 50 years in a certain manner that you have to do it now. They must understand sometimes it's not Winfresh, it's not sometimes Connie but himself, but it's what the market wants. Michael, you have been in that. So you have to go according to what the market wants.
Can I just ask you, hold on a while, Cuthbert? I hear what you say.
Yeah.
I support you 100%. But remember, you have the farmers there. And normally, to me, whether you're in the farming or manufacturing, it's always nice for someone to hold your hand, like what I call a grandpa, okay? And that's where I think that between Winfresh and the government, they have to have all those people that they have employed, from the nice and the proud people. They have some intelligent people in those programs. Couldn't they sort of send 2 or 3 people there to pass on that knowledge and inculcate it into the ears and minds of the farmers? Look, guys, there is a market, but that's what you should do.
Michael, I have my place just next to the extension, I think it's Region 8. And I speak to the guys all the time. And the guys are going to tell you that they have some of these little farms that are hard-headed. And I have said over the years, you know what you have to do? Forget the politics of it. You must get them to do something else. Because if you keep them in the industry, they make the noise, but they'll destroy the industry. And what you can do, those persons who can provide you with the quality and the high heel, you have to work with them. It's unfortunate, because I will tell you, I haven't got my document here now, that in the diversification process, Michael, millions of dollars were spent, given by the EU, for the diversification process, for the farmers to get out of bananas. But for some reason, it would appear that the powers that be maybe wanted these farmers to stay there, because some persons have the opinion that you have to be totally dependent on me. You see, I have known cases where inputs have been given out, and these same farmers would go and sell out the inputs. And for years, these things have been happening. These things, we have to cut them out.
Yeah.
We cannot play the game with it. We have to cut it. Now, even in the same agricultural thing, Michael, we have been saying community development. I will give you that one. I don't want to mention their name. And people in the banana industry will know that. Here it is, when bananas were going out, a gentleman in tourism decided that he's going to go into poultry. And he decided, and I know he went to the banana people, certain persons, high officials in bananas can bear me out, and he said they would build the houses for the people, they would give them the feed, but the rural women, the women in the countryside with banana, would raise the chickens. A central facility would be built in Denry, I don't want to mention the name again, so all the chicken would come into that central area, and people would. Michael, this thing fell through because whoever was there at the time gave it to a certain St. Lucia farmer gentleman who they say could do it, and never did it.
Wow.
And I met the gentleman outside of this country right? And the gentleman said to me, you know, Phillips, agriculture, you all are not ready. Michael, this is some of the things we get. This, you want to speak now about the greenhouse,
Yes.
the Mexican greenhouse?
Yeah.
I wanted to purchase a greenhouse myself. Up to now, I asked my extension officer if he can get the price for me. But I do not know, and I want the Ministry of Agriculture to come out, because I am told there's a serious problem with that greenhouse. They tell me that the temperatures inside there go so high
That's right.
that they cannot, it is
I
not
had the
serving
Mexican
its,
ambassador on my
it is
show,
not serving its purpose.
and nothing is being done there.
And I do not know, I know of two, and they told me that they're hoping to put some others. But there's no use putting a structure like this, and you say you're going to benefit from, and it is not
well, I tell you
functioning.
what, the Mexican ambassador
if
told
it's
me
not true,
the
say
same
so.
thing that you said. And I told him, I said, Mr. Ambassador, why don't you go to Union, where the Taiwanese people are growing the orchids,
Yes.
and see what they have done? Very simple. There's some sort of a machine there with some pipes, and
the
it's
water.
recycling the chill water,
Brings down
which
the
takes away the
temperature.
humidity. Now, my goodness, that has been done here for the last 5-6 years. So it is nothing new to us. You mean to tell me, between the government and the Mexican embassy themselves, or for that matter, the government and some other body, because they are organizations that help, you put down a greenhouse that is not cheap. The land is there. So what message are you sending the people to use it? The wrong message, because you're showing it cannot work or it's not working. Right? Now, it's the same thing with the abattoir in Bon Séjour. I mean, millions of dollars are spent in an area that's very highly susceptible to salt. I mean, you see what's happening, for instance, at the stadium, where the roof is just falling down. So it seems to me that before they're ready to do anything, there'll be no abattoir. How can that be right? What message are we giving our donors who do these things? Just like what you call the National Hospital, which has been finished for almost 2 years and just closed. I met, for instance, one of the top officers of the European Union in Barbados a couple months ago, and he expressed his disappointment with this administration for the manner in which they have handled the National Hospital. So it seems like you have the greenhouse, the Mexican greenhouse, going nowhere, the abattoir going nowhere, the national. So somebody has to take responsibility for that. So what have you got to say?
Michael, when I look at the thing too, I look at the governments before, governments after. You look at the persons who have been in the ministry. I am not applying blame to any one political group or any government, you know. I am of the opinion that senior civil servants have been appointed. These guys are doctors. These guys have all the knowledge and everything, my goodness. They are the ones who are being paid to see that these things happen. If it is not happening, Michael, I think it is time that these people come out and speak out.
All right.
Who is speaking out?
Yeah, but Cuthbert, let me say something to you.
Is it fear?
I have a business. I appoint a CEO.
Yeah.
I put him in charge.
Yeah.
And the business is failing.
You fire him.
That's right.
But exactly. So you're not. But so that means to say the powers that be condone it.
Yeah, we're not fools. You know, the most difficult person to fire is a government official. You know that. So therefore, when that has happened, I mean, this is where politicians have to be, should I say, proactive.
That's it.
Having seen what has happened before, and when they come into upstairs, look, this is not going to happen on my watch.
That's right.
I'm going to make sure it's done.
That's right.
Because I hope, for instance, that what we're saying today, I know for a fact we will be criticized for it.
I'm going to get a lot of blows for being here today. Anyhow.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say, we cannot hide behind the bars, because this is our country, our nation, and unless we come forward and try to stop what's going on, it's going to fester and we'll be going nowhere. This is why, like for instance, you know, I was taken, well, both myself and my son have been taken to task where they have published some frivolous advertisements about we are liars, okay? Cuthbert, I'm not going to call the names of anybody. Only today, before coming to my show, I have a very good St. Lucian friend who walked into my office, said he had to see me. And he saw right at my office with his own two eyes another young lady who came in there who just lost her job. Virtually, again, totally depressed. I can show the recommendations. I have so many CVs at my office. I can only do so much because for ourselves, we have been under severe pressure for the last 2 to 3 years because the economy is just sinking, and it depends on the nature of your business. We are landlords, we are real estate there. 50% or more of the tenants cannot pay their rent, they cannot pay their VAT, they cannot pay their electricity. It's an ongoing situation. And I wish the Prime Minister and his cohorts would one day come to my office and see for myself, instead of doing nonsense and putting foolish TV ads, when the reality is on the ground of people are suffering in this country. But tell you something, it will come home to roost. So,
well, on that agriculture thing, Michael,
yeah.
And you know, sometimes I don't want to actually come in and say it, but somebody came down on my farm here, he said, "Oh, Phillips, what kind of statements you're making outside there? You say that this organization cannot pay, this organization can." Michael, an organization who's supposed to be there for the farmers, when you look at people like Nice, production is on the ground and everything, and people are selling their stuff. A check of $250, which I issued to, and I'm now telling them it was I who issued a check of $250 from a certain institution that is there to assist, and the check bounced.
Yeah, and tell you the difference.
And they tell me, "Oh, Phillips, you lie and everything. I'm going there, I'm getting."
You see, that's
and let me tell
denial.
you, I can come in, and I told the bank, I said, "Let me tell you, virtually I was telling him that check came from what organization?
Yeah.
So why should you tell me to take the check back to the organization?"
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I can tell everybody, I can tell the whole of the world now, I was the one.
Yeah. Now you see that?
But yet I was getting a lot of, from farmers themselves.
Yeah.
Bowery Phillips, he's a member, he's green, he's yellow.
Now you see, look at the situation. We had the marketing board next to what was our supermarket at the car park. When we moved into there 10, 13 years ago and we started selling stuff, we were weighing the stuff, we were cheaper than the marketing board, and the people got their money. So, and what happened to the marketing board next door? It virtually collapsed. They couldn't pay their bills, and it only shows that there's only one way to run a business. It's the correct way. St. Lucia, this is Open Mic. I've been given a signal that we now enter the 4th segment of our program. So till next Sunday, and we'll be back to you. This is Open Mic saying goodbye.